Mabuhay pageant fans! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey Adam G, your online feel-good show. Guys, thank you so much for following me in my pageant vlogging. And I can't believe we are almost hitting 30,000 soon! Grabe guys, I did not expect it. Wow. Thank you guys talaga. Just thank you. So to all those who are watching this content now but hasn't subscribed yet, please click that notification bell and subscribe button for you to be constantly updated with my latest content. Grabe talaga, I still can't believe that a lot of people are really tuning in, paying attention to what I have to say here through my small platform. Not just pageant fans, but people from multinational companies here too. Grabe. In fact, would you believe this content is brought to you by PLDT Home? Enjoy seamless coverage with no dead spots with their latest home Wi-Fi systems. So experience consistently fast internet speed throughout your home. So, kumusta na kayo guys? As you can see, this past week was a very busy one because of my coverages for both Miss Universe Philippines and Miss World Philippines finals night, diba? And I would like to thank you all for enjoying my content about it so far. Maraming salamat. And soon, I'll be launching my live chat series with the Miss Universe candidates this coming edition. So, I really have so many things on my plate talaga right now. But for today's content, let's go back to Miss Universe Philippines again, shall we? As I feel I have so many thoughts and more content I want to share with you here. I super love reading all your comment from my previous comprehensive review of the finals night, and so let's talk more about it by allowing me to share some of the lessons I have learned from covering and following the pageant this year. So, what are those lessons that I have learned? Well, you better stick around for my thoughts and insights. Number one, you have to prepare and organize a great schedule ahead of time. Since we are living in a new normal now, guys, joining beauty pageants for these girls have become more time consuming. Whereas before, the girls will just have to think of their makeup, styling, and wardrobe and showing up to events. Now, they really have to consider a lot of external factors that might affect their candidacy in a pageant like Miss Universe Philippines. And as you can see, potential candidates nowadays have to quarantine themselves every now and then before the start of the pageant. So, if you are a candidate coming from the province, one has to really come ahead of time here in Manila or where the official venue of the pageant to quarantine oneself and be 100% ready and prepared for all the events and activities that the organization will have for you. So you really kind of have to know what the challenges lie ahead. Most probably, there will be many of it, and you will have to learn to study it. So the girls will really have to ace and make a good impression from it. For example, MUP has been doing a runway challenge that would require girls to wear black dresses while walking down the ramp. And then there is also the headshot challenge and tourism video campaigns one has to think about. And let's face it, COVID is not going anytime soon. So if you have plans of joining a pageant like Miss Universe Philippines, then you might as well conceptualize your runway and headshots ahead of time kasi hihingin at hihingan kayo nito ng organization, 'di ba? So you better talk and sit down with your glam team as early as now about this, because the reason why I say this is that girls or candidates need to carefully plan this, because there is this tendency na all these girls might end up na magpare-pareho sila ng mga videos and materials submitted to the organization, and it would not look good on these girls if may kapareho silang materials from the other candidates online, kasi magkukumparahan talaga yan. Makukumpara talaga sila sa bawat isa. So it is really advisable that one has to plan ahead of time. Number two, a candidate should make herself different from the rest. You know, if there is one thing I have learned and carefully observed from covering Miss Universe Philippines for the past 2 years now, is that the organization is always looking for a beauty queen who is not a template or mold of previous beauty queens. And lately, guys, there seems to be a new breed of queens on the horizon. The type of women who are very authentic, unapologetic, and true to themselves. And surprisingly, guys, they are a hit among pageant fans, especially when they talk about them on social media. Well, take the cases of both Bea Luigi Gomez and Ayin Bernos in this year's Miss Universe Philippines. They were both truthful to themselves, and the fans and the organization eventually fell in love with their character and authenticity. And look at Bea specifically. She was very vocal about her LGBT background and did not need to hide it or feel very ashamed of it. I thought, wow, that was very refreshing considering that we live in a country with our traditional and conservative culture. Then there is also Ayin Bernos, who would be the first to agree with you that she isn't your typical standard of Miss Universe beauty. But instead of spending time fending off her bashers online, she concentrated or focused on embracing her whole physical self without any self-pity or self-doubt, which impressed so many pageant fans like me. So she really walked by her own rules and forged her own path here, regardless of what her bashers say. So if we take a page from their playbook in Miss Universe Philippines, both Ayin and Bea Luigi completely owned their narrative and was very unapologetic about it. Now, that's women empowerment in its purest example talaga. And I hope aspiring beauty queens would take a cue from them to be brave, bolder, and fearless when it comes to their views in life. Number 3, guys. I know this is unpopular opinion, but I feel the pasabog photos are quite irrelevant now in year 2021. Guys, don't get me wrong. I still get kilig and excited when our candidates upload all their pasabog photos and videos during their campaign just for us to see their styling, experimentation, or evolution. But somehow, over the past few years, with many candidates doing this, it somehow has lost its appeal. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but somehow it has not been generating the same level of excitement or is not enough to elevate a candidate as it has like been a few years ago. So it is in this reason that I hope that glam teams and the candidates themselves have to think outside the box for the fans to be more excited about their candidacies on social media. And right now, I couldn't really give an example of what these candidates have to cook up differently, but I hope the candidates would realize that there were candidates before who did minimal of it, but they were still able to snatch the crown. So just look at Rabia and Bea Luigi again. Rabia concentrated so much on improving her communication skills during her candidacy, while she would upload behind the scenes of her pasabog videos here and then during her candidacy. You notice she was more active in granting interviews to different pageant vloggers in our country. Napansin niyo yon? And as for Bea, did you also notice how she focused on her pasarela skills, which she highlighted many times in her tourism and intro video this year? So, kung mapapansin nyo, what's the common denominator of these two? They focus on different parts of the competition and honing their strengths, and it became the key to their success in pageantry. And in connection with number 3, where I feel all these pasabog photos no longer have the bite, I believe girls should realize that communication skills should be part of their assets in the competition. I know I stressed this a lot in my previous content, and I would like to highlight this again. Having great communication skills is really a must in every Miss Universe Philippines contestant. Just take for instance, look at everyone who applied in Miss Universe Philippines this year. All of them were so eloquent and articulate with their interview skills. And I hope more candidates will take a cue from them, from all these 28 contestants, as they prepare for the next edition. 'Di ba? Kasi sana guys, kung ano yung ininvest nilang time and money for their pasabog photos and photo shoots, videos, sana the candidates then for next year would also invest the same time energy, and effort in getting coaches for their training in their communication skills. Kasi guys, if you have noticed, as we had witnessed in the past 2 editions, there were so many interview challenges in Miss Universe Philippines. Diba? There is the interview challenge during the top 50 selection, apart from the prelims and finals format of the pageant. Hindi lang yun guys, more than ever, ang napansin nyo, ang dami-daming speaking challenges even during their pre-pageant activities this year. Nakita nyo, all these pageant sponsors like Belo, Lazada, and Front Row were requiring all these candidates to do speaking parts in their promotional videos at the same time. And, di ba, naalala nyo, if you remember my interview with Billy Hackinson 2 weeks ago, or was it 3 weeks ago, she said that she really appreciated a lot of girls who had great communication skills as they were so easy to work with in terms of doing their spiels. So, mabilis natatapos agad yung mga shoots nila. So, di ba, I remember she mentioned Kisses Delovin and Ayin Bernos during this part of our interview, right? Na mas lalo pa siyang humanga sa kanilang dalawa after seeing them during their shoots. Na mapapabilib ka talaga sa kanila daw na like they were, like alam niyo yon, they weren't the heavy favorites for the title, but the reason why nobody complained about their spots in top 16 is because they excelled in this aspect of the competition. And also guys, another candidate pa pala that came into my mind, look at Sam Santa Maria as well. She may strike you as your typical kolehiyala, pero nakita nyo naman, palaban ng final si ate girl nyo kasi she had been granting interviews left and right before they went to Clark and Bohol. Same thing also with Jasmine Umali and Corinne Abalos, who initially started out as quite reserved but started coming out of their shells and showed so much personality towards the end of the competition. Especially si Jasmine, di ba, where we all lapped up her TikTok videos during the competition, where I feel like she really paid more attention doing her TikTok videos more than uploading her OOTDs online. And it really worked for her as she really stood out and napansin natin talaga siya during the competition. So, ako talaga, ang masasabi ko lang guys talaga. So, for the candidates next year, I hope, sana they will really devote so much of their time in this aspect of the competition because it will really pay off for them later on. Kaya sa totoo lang, I really applaud all the girls or candidates who really grant interviews to us pageant vloggers during their candidacy. Na kasi nakikita nyo naman that they get trained and exposed to the cameras and public eye right away. So in a way, it's a good training ground for them, not just in public speaking, but how they answer given the live format of the interview where there is really no room for a retake or take two. So I hope through this, more candidates will be encouraged to take advantage of our platforms here on social media as it's free publicity and exposure for them. And now we go to my last lesson, which is the girls should be more social media savvy. I believe this is one quality that every candidate should have when joining pageants. At the advent of social media, and especially now in the time of new normal, brand sponsors of these pageant organizations are going digital. Napansin nyo? Whereas before pandemic, candidates would be required to do numerous sponsor visits and TVCs for them. Like, I remember how MUP required all these girls to wear violet or purple dresses during a Resorts World activity before the pandemic hit us last year. Now, the work has totally shifted to digital space. And this is where a candidate's social media skills will really come in handy for them to boost their candidacies online lalo pa more. Take for instance, at Miss Universe Philippines this year, sponsors would make them want to make original content for them during the pageant duration. Napansin nyo? Belo, Front Row, BYS Cosmetics, and even Lazada all asked them to come out with a post or video showcasing their products on social media, right? So, napansin ko lang, being good with TikTok, editing it, choosing what new song to pick, and the smooth transitions involved with it is really an advantage in this competition. Because let's face it guys, lahat ng mga girls, diba, sabay-sabay magpo-post about these sponsor content online. And how will one pageant fan differentiate one from the rest if all of them are posting the same thing? And especially if the candidate knows how to choose a song that will be a hit the algorithms of these platforms will make their visibility engaging even more. So at this point, a candidate really has to know what sells or what doesn't with each platform that they have, 'di ba? Kasi bigla ko naalala pala dito si Pia. I suddenly remember Pia Wurtzbach's time in Miss Universe 5 years ago with this one. I remember Pia telling in an interview that she would be required from time to time to take over the Miss Universe social media platforms and think of great captions for every post she makes so that it will be more engaging to the public. And fast forward and applying it here in Miss Universe Philippines, it is very imperative for these girls to adapt to the new setup by being more social media savvy and skill oriented when it comes to doing their online exercises. Whether it's learning how to do their own makeup, getting a good Wi-Fi, or learning how to edit on their own, on their TikTok videos, the candidate has to quickly adapt and learn given the whole new dynamics or setup of the competition. So, guys, as it is, social media is not just a broadcasting tool, it's also a communication tool. You know, these girls need to give the pageant sponsors and us pageant fans content that they'll find useful and entertaining. And being social media savvy as they showcase their personalities and authenticity is really a simple yet powerful way to test a candidate's commercial viability and creativity as an endorser and spokesperson. 'Di ba? So there you go, guys. What do you think about these lessons or takeaways from the recently concluded Miss Universe Philippines that I am sharing with you now? Am I making valid points again? Am I making sense? Well, feel free to share your thoughts down below on the comment section so I can see your feedback. And by the way, guys, this is not the last content I'll be doing for MUP. Stay tuned for more as I am cooking up a lot of content about MUP within this month. I hope, guys, that you will be able to still appreciate it once I have uploaded everything. Hopefully, magawa ko lahat yon with approval of MUP. So, maraming salamat, guys, and see you on my next content. Bye!